we're going to be preparing for the exam. So for mortgages or loans, and this is specifically for home finance, if you have never added any of these formulas, then this is your cue, okay? Add these to your study sheet. Very important. So I'm actually gonna give this another coat of highlighter. Okay. Make sure you have this on your study sheet. So that should be part of, like if I give you some work time, you should definitely add that, okay? And the mortgage is obviously the price minus the down payment. Can I just tell you that some questions, even on the exam, have 0 down, which is not realistic. What's the minimum down payment these days, percentage-wise? 5%. You need a 5% down payment. You don't even go to the bank. They will not approve you unless you have 5%. So what you do is, oh, I like that house. That house is 275,000 times 0.05. Oh, I need 13,750 saved up. It turns out that you actually need more than that. You need about 7%, because we're going to calculate some other things that come your way when it's time to buy a home. So like there's other things you're going to have to pay for. So what's 7% of that? You probably need about 20 grand to get started, okay? So this is where I probably give you that talk again about save up money for that instead of buying like fancy cars or toys or anything like that, video games, what have you. Save up for a down payment on a house. That's what I would say. Or save up for your tuition so that you can then have, like, you owe nothing when you start working and make more money. You save up for a house, okay? So that's important. Have these on there. Another thing I wanted to talk, I was kind of losing you yesterday. That's why I stopped talking. But you also need to know how to decrease the total interest paid. That's at the bottom of this page 20 where the formulas are. So one of them is adding or increasing your payment. Okay? You either add or you increase your actual monthly payment. You can do this on a yearly basis, you can do this on a monthly basis, but you can always add more. So watch what happens. This is your original mortgage for $345,000. If you were to add $3,458 a year, just so you know, in case you're wondering why is that such a weird number, that is approximately $300 a month. So let's say you're like, you know what? I want to make an additional $300 a month towards my mortgage. Watch this right here. What would happen to the time it takes for you to pay off the house? Do you notice that? It used to be 25 years, and now it's 19 years and 4 months. So you shaved off 5.5 years of the total mortgage just by making an additional payment every month. Okay? So the savings, watch, this is the line that I really want you to look at. The total interest cost right here. The savings you would incur, this is money that stays in your pocket, would be $70,063.87. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having that extra money just because you actually paid it off faster? You keep $75,000 in your own pocket. That is huge, right? That is huge. I would say that's almost like investing, right? Paying it off faster saves you money. Therefore, you're making money by paying it off faster. That's number one, adding or increasing a payment. So you can actually see here on this graph down here, this is the original mortgage where you get to 0 at 25. Then you have, this is your new mortgage where you go, you're done in 19 and a half years. Hello? Okay. All right, keep going. Another way to save on interest. This is the easiest thing you can do. It doesn't cost you that much. It doesn't take much more money from you, but increasing the payment frequency. So basically the main idea is you're going from monthly to accelerated bi-weekly. And it has semi-monthly, bi-weekly, weekly. It has them all listed here. But for this purpose, I'm going to ask you to just look at the original monthly payment column. Okay? And then I want you to compare that to accelerated bi-weekly. Okay? So instead of you going monthly, your monthly payment is $21.1880. If you were to say to the bank, you know what, I'm going to pay it bi-weekly, twice every 2 weeks. Sorry, not twice a month. It's every 2 weeks. Your payment in a month is about the same, but watch this. Look at that. You went from 25 years to 21 years. So 4 years less of a time to pay this thing off. Just by going accelerated bi-weekly. And how much interest did you save? Watch here. Savings compared to monthly, you saved $50,000. I'm talking real money, guys. This is money in your pockets. By simply saying, hey, instead of monthly, I'm going to go bi-weekly. And that is huge. I don't know, this is technically like grade 10-ish stuff. Like that's when you went like weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, like different payments. Do you know why you pay it off faster? Does anybody know why you pay it off faster? It's kind of complicated to explain why, but I will give it my best shot here. Right down here. If you make monthly payments, how many payments do you make in a year? You make 12 payments, right? If you make bi-weekly payments, how many payments do you make in a year? How many bi-weekly payments? 26. If you divide this by 2, because it's 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, correct? So what I'm trying to do is if you divide that by 2, that is the equivalent of 13 payments. If you compare paying on a monthly basis compared to on a bi-weekly, it's almost like you're making one extra payment every year. 1 month worth of payment additionally if you go bi-weekly. So that is why. So every year you're paying off a little bit extra, and that's what saves you the extra time and money. Okay? So what else do I want to say here? I know I'm too excited about this. I'm very passionate about this, and you're like, kind of cool, but not yet, right? I'm not there yet. But hopefully you'll remember some of these things. Imagine another thing you want. So first of all, you're going to have $50,000 in your pocket. You save that on interest that you did not have to pay the bank. You're going to literally have this much more money on you. The other thing is, think about it this way. Think of 4 years where you don't have to make the extra mortgage payment. Think of it that way as well. 4 years where you get to keep that money in your pocket, additional to the savings you've incurred here. So you're talking, what is 5 years? That's 60 times this. We're talking 60 times 21, 118. $127,000 that you didn't have to pay on a monthly basis over 5 years, right? So that's another thing to keep in mind. So you're gonna live large after that. Now you're gonna invite all your friends over for supper, and buy them good, nice presents and this and that, right? So that's something to remember. Another way to save interest is increasing your down payment, same as loans, okay? Decreasing the amortization period. So on your study sheet, you should have, maybe I'll go back once and just add those 4 things. This is overkill, what I just did with the graphs and all that, but I don't think you can see it if you don't have graphs or a breakdown, a table like that. So here we go. I'm going back to 20. Decreasing, just go back to page 20 and just right next to this. Decrease the total interest, you can do this. Number 1, increase or add a payment. You literally go on top of what they ask you to do, bare minimum. Another way is to just increase down payment. Another way of doing that is by changing, right? Switch, increase frequency, sorry, that's what I tried to say here. Increase payment frequency. All of that is written down on the pages, right? So you go from monthly to bi-weekly. Yikes, that doesn't look very good there. Shorten term, shorten amortization. This is just so it's all in one place, right? Increase add payment, shorten amortization, increase down payment, increase payment frequency. Those are, I think if you have that, you're gold and you're doing just fine. Okay? All right. Now, using these formulas, and if you weren't here yesterday, you need to come and grab one of these tables. You need this table to come up with your payments. Okay? So I'm going to leave that right here, the yellow handout. You're going to go from page 22, I will say at the very least, I'm going to see if we can make it all the way to 28. We'll see how far we get. So at the bottom of this page, I'm going to say for now, we're going to go from 23 to 28. Just work on those questions. Make sure you update your study sheet with formulas. What should you have on your study sheet right now in terms of formulas? Anybody? GDSR, right? GDSR, there's at least 3. There's the big one, and then there's 2 smaller ones. And then mortgages. That should also be part of your study sheet right now. Okay, and then anything else that you find interesting, so that would be part of this time. So I'm giving you time, use it wisely, and then we're gonna go on to other topics as well. All right?